Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we are back on the campaign, the Argentinian campaign, where we're protecting a small state inside Argentina from Argentinian tyranny or something. Right, so basically here is a big city, it is a big city inside Fortinaria. And it's been attacked. It has minimal defences, medium armoured defences, but it's been attacked by an entire armoured division of Argentinians from the north. And we need to rid these guys out of the city, basically. And they're all dug in and hidden, so it's going to be quite difficult to do. So, now, we've been struggling a little bit, having quite a few problems with CAS, because it's quite difficult. So I've simplified, we've kind of wound it back to basics on this one, and so hopefully it should be a bit easier for anyone. And I thought I was going to be controlling as well, hence I've made it super easy. But let me explain what we've got. We've got 4 targets: target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. Each target is a squad or a platoon of armour. So target 1 is 12 times BMPs scattered about a suburban village. Target 2 is 12 times main battle tanks in the high-rise city scattered about there. Target 3 is the 12 times main battle tanks around that area. Target 4 is 12 times BMPs around that area. Each target has a rough coordinate, which is basically what I just grabbed off DCS. I plunked it in the middle, so it'll be good enough for an echo point, basically. As well as that, there are danger close friendlies mixed in. Well, not quite mixed in, but very close. So, for instance, here are some near target 2 are danger close friendlies 400 feet away, which are 6 times blue APCs. Do not shoot them, for God's sake. Target 3 has 6 times APCs as well, 400 feet to the north. So you must bear in mind that. I know I haven't got a close-up, but just bear that in mind. Threats. Let's look at the big purple oblong. The big purple oblong is relatively accurate. Lethal distance of stingers. The reason we put these stingers is to make sure you fly your airplanes properly and not like dicks. If you're a dick, you just fly in and try and gun stuff. That's not how, well, technically I guess it is how CAS works, but the idea is that we give you threats and you respond to them properly by flying to the threat. So I've given you these stingers, you must fly properly to the threat. If you go below 12,000 feet, you're going to get blown up. Simple as that. Right, so our controllers know that, I don't need to tell you. Note how targets 1 and targets 4 are just outside of the Stinger lethal area. That's done on purpose, obviously, because it's an easy style mission. So basically we're going to have Vigans, which is Dagger, attacking target 1. We're going to have Harriers, which is Sabre, attacking target 4. Because these, the Sabres and the Daggers are not going to use GBUs, they're going to be using Mavericks or the equivalent of. So they need to get it down a little bit lower in the mud, hence and the A10s, which are going to be doing full-scale high altitude GBUing, are going to go for target 2, which is Hammer, and target 3, which is Hades? Fuck it,
Hades.
Buick. Going for target 3. Simple as that. So there's not much to say about the A10 targets. It's going to be controlled. Who's controlling it now? Is it going to be Wolf Shadow or Sherman? Either way, I'm sure you'll be fine because we've done that stuff we've done before. I trust you guys to sort that out. Target 1 for the Vigans. Actually, sorry, before I go, so each target will have what we call an echo point. So echo point is essentially a point in space at each target, in the middle of each target group. And as well as that, this is just for people that don't know like Tail, each echo point has an associated IP. It's 10 miles away from that echo point, either north, east, south or west. So if we look at target 2, if we go 10 miles north and follow the arrow up, it has a IP point called A10. A10 just means north 10 miles of echo point, simple as that. And target 3 has if we go east, it has Bravo 10. Bravo means east, and 10 means 10 miles, so that's where that point is. And target 4 has Charlie 10, so it's south 10 miles, and target 1 has Delta 10, which is west 10 miles. So why do you have the IPs? The IPs are there to put a place where the aircraft flights can gather and loiter and prepare their attack in controllable areas that deconflict the battle zone and keep them out of danger. So that A10 position at the top there, keeps them up there, out the way of any other planes and away from the SAMs. Same with Bravo 10, and the C10 keeps them keeps the Harriers well away from the manpads, and D10 keeps the Viggens away from the manpads. So it's absolutely essential that we follow these orders. So I designed this map to make sure you follow your orders. So we'll follow just one example through very quickly in a minute, but that's what it is. So I've done this, so I expect everyone, if Full Shadow's doing it, he can do whatever he wants because he knows what he's doing, but everyone try and stick to these echoes and these IPs if you can, because they're pretty optimal. It'd be nice to see everyone just doing their job for once. Sherman, can you handle groups 2 and 3, please? So that's all of the A10s, so you'll be jumping back between them, and Sherman's on 121. Tomic, can you handle the others? Can you handle target 1 and target 4? And we'll sequence them so you don't have to, do them at the same time. So,
firm. The desired objective today is to get faster comms so we can all do our jobs.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're about to go through now. So why did it take so long last time? Well, if you watch the stream back, it was interaction between me and Atomic. Basically, fuck it, just go straight to it. Atomic didn't know what it was doing, so let's go right through it now, and so you know exactly what you're doing, the order of things. So very quickly, Anti-Tail, a 9. Well, it's not a 9, and this entire as a Full Shadow, what would you call it? Just a CAS fucking structure, I guess. This entire structure is a certain structure of things we have to go through, steps we have to go through in order to get through to our 9 line and dropping our bombs. And the idea is it has to stick to the structure. You can't just do whatever you want whenever you want. You can't do your 9 line and then go you sit rep. You've got to do everything one step in exactly the right time as it's laid out on the sheet. If you don't do that, you're breaking the chain of information and you're going to end up bombing someone's house. So you have to do this like a robot. I'm sure Full Shadow, who does this, well, I'm not allowed to say, but someone who would do this in real life would say, it's got to be perfect. You can't just do what you want. You can't say over that mountain, over there, the 9-9 is final attack. It's got to be exactly as we do on the sheet, at least to begin with. So I'm going to go.
Are we all using the same sheet, the updated sheet that has been updated, Cap? Are you using that?
I'm using the old one.
Most updated one?
I'm using the old one, but they should be have the same information as I'm aware. It should be fine. I'm not too worried about that. So, really, really super quick. I'm going to make a graphic to guide for this, just to help everyone, basically, because I know Coffee's instructions are fine, but they're just difficult to follow if you're like me. So real quick, I'm flying in. My Viggens are coming in. So Tomic, you are controlling target 1, please. My Viggens get to balls or somewhere around balls. What's the first thing we need to do? It's not the check-in. It's not the sit rep. It's not the game plan. It's not the 9 line. It is basically the thing at the top of the check-in, which is in yellow. If you've got the old sheet. Full Shadow, I don't know if this bit has got a real name. Yeah, some of us have called it a handshake. I like to call it a request task, because what we're doing is our flight is requesting a task. We're telling who we are, and we say that we're here for tasking. We're not giving the check-in yet. And at that point, so basically we'll come in and I'm going to say, hello Atomic, I'm flight Dagger. I've got 2 Viggens. My position is I'm approaching from the east. I don't think I really need to give any more information than that. Request tasking. So I'm just saying to Atomic, hello, give me a task to do. Here's roughly where I am. Atomic.
You can get rid of that. You can get rid of the request tasking. I don't know where that came from.
Copy. It's just me adding bits in. So we'll just say that then, basically. So it's just like an introduction. Why don't we call it an introduction? I'm introducing myself, who I am. Atomic, what's your job next? What information have you got to tell me as the next piece of information? Do you know? No, you don't, and that's why we're doing this. Right, so your information is to allow me to fill the very top of the check-in box out, which is position and altitude. That is the position and altitude so I've got the bit of information you've got to give me is A, where is the echo point? That is the target 1 in this case. B, where is the IP point? Those are the bits of information I want, and my range of altitudes that I'm allowed to fly in at my IP point. Just to remember, the target 1 is the echo point, that Delta 10 is the IP point. So the first thing you come out with is a coordinate, and I know we've got some problems with the coordinates, which we'll sort out, but you come out with a coordinate for the IP. In this case, 43134 40 55 57. You've told me where the echo is. I now know where the target is. You've then got to tell me where my IP is, Delta 10. That's all you've got to say. In this case, Delta 10. In a different mission, you might choose Bravo 10 or Alpha 10, but in this one, it's optimal to have Delta 10, which means we can loiter out there at the IP at Delta 10. And you're also going to tell me the range of heights that I am allowed to loiter at my IP, which, as you know, is something like, say, 10 block 15. That's between 10,000 feet and 15,000 feet. FYI, in this one, I appreciate, because we're vegans, we don't want to be up high, and there's no threat anywhere to us. Just give us a low block, like block 5 to 6 or something, because we're out to sea, there's no threats anywhere. Just it saves us an awful lot of gas, so just keep that in mind. So you've told us where to go. We've been at Bulls, that's what we've introduced ourselves. You've told us to Echo Point is there, IP point is there. Don't say anything else. That's all. We know from the structure of this that the next thing to do, without being told, is to go to Delta 10. That's the next thing we do. That's our holding point, our IP point. So we then fly to our IP point. When we do that, be careful not to get shot down by SAMs, obviously, but again, we're just keeping it simple for now. At our point, once we're there, we'll hold. In reality, the Vigan can't hold. It can't hold in a circle. So what we'll have to do is fly out to sea while we take our information down. That's fine. So the next thing is that we're going to do.
Okay.
Hello.
The Vigan can quite easily hold in a circle, actually, if you just put it into altitude hold and then use left or right trim.
Copy noted. Right, so the next thing we need to do is fill out the main grey check-in box on the ESF 9-line thingy. Starts at call sign, ends in additional remarks. So this is us, me, the flight, giving Atomic the information about our flight, so Atomic, the controller, can make clever decisions about where to put our ordnance. So the first thing, I will have to ask if Atomic is ready for a check-in. Atomic, are you ready for a check-in? Atomic says, yes, ready for check-in. Then I go through one by one this piece of information. We start at call sign. I don't say call sign emission. I just say whatever we are. Dagger flight, Dagger. Then number of aircraft, 2 aircraft, and 2 Vigans, I'll say. Then I'll say position and altitude. So I'll say, because my position is Delta 10, or it won't be exactly Delta 10, but essentially that's where we are. So I'll say Delta 10, Angels 3. Say I'm at Angels 3, Imperial, and we always work in Imperial. Ordnance. I'm mainly correcting on this, but I think I say the combined ordnance of the group. So in this case, 8 RB75s. Okay? And then Atomic knows, right, there's my group, it's a Delta 10, or roughly a Delta 10, I won't actually be there. He's got 8 Mavericks. Time on station, we all know this one, so it's 1 plus 0 is an hour, 0 plus 30 is 30 minutes. Yeah, so I'll tell him that. And Atomic writes that down, it allows him to plan how he's going to apply our ordnance to the target. Abort code is something, fucking Jessica is a word, it's a safe word that he can say to abort us. And additional remarks, I never filled that in, so I'm not sure. But basically, that's when our sit rep happens. Stop. So Atomic takes that information in. Then it swings back the other way. We've given information to Atomic. He has a little bit of thinking time, how he's going to use our ordnance. So he's going to think, oh, okay, I've got 8 Mavericks. I've got 12 targets down here. So let's get rid of 12 of these BMPs. And then he's going to start to think how he's going to do it. The first thing he's got to tell us is the sit rep. So at this point, Atomic is telling us the sit rep. He'll say, Daggerflight, are you ready for sit rep? We say, yes, we are, Atomic. Atomic says, threat is... whatever they are, 12 times BMP with, I think this is right, with, no, sorry, I've said that wrong. What's the threat, Wolf Shadow? Is it the SAMs and stuff?
Yes.
Threat, directly east of target, multiple man pads, enemy 12 times, BMP, friendly location. There are no friendlies in this case. You could call in yourself the JTAC as friendly, so you could say a JTAC 200 feet north, maybe, as a friendly if you want, because you are not instructable. Artillery, we have no artillery here. Artillery, none. Control is, you could say, who's in control of this flight or this attack and whatnot. It is always going to be, in our case, the controller, which is Atomic. Hazards is things like wind and stuff that I'm not going to put on for the time being. So essentially, hazards none, restrictions none for the time being. So that you've told us the sit rep. We write that down. If we need to query anything with you, we can. But otherwise, we're ready for game plan. I don't need to remind. So at this point, it's all in Atomic's hands. So Atomic, that then follows up with, are you ready for game plan? Or we say, yes, we're Atomic. We're ready for game plan. Atomic is then doing his thinking. How am I going to kill these 12 BMPs? Am I going to kill it with a Type 1, Type 2 or Type 3? Well, my understanding of Type 1, Type 2 is that he is essentially going to find individual targets for us. That's a very slow and laborious way of doing it. Maybe Sherman will want to be doing that in the city with the tanks because that's a more difficult target. But in this case, why don't I give them a Type 3, which is basically, Type 3 is essentially coming from this direction and just kill all of these targets yourself I don't want a laser, I don't want to really do anything. That's how my understanding of it very briefly is. So it's going to say I want a type 3. And basically, bomb on coordinate is going to give us a coordinate, which is essentially the center of that group, which you can use from there if he likes. You can give that ordnance. You won't need to give an ordnance in a type 3. Is that right, Wolf Shadow?
Say again?
In a type 3 game plan, you won't need to give ordnance, will you, or will you?
You still give ordnance, but you could say best weapon, but you will still give ordnance.
Copy that. So we just say ordnance RB75, or you can call them Mavericks if you like. We all know what you mean. Interval is the interval between the drops of bombs or firing of Mavericks. In this case, because it's a type 3, we don't need, we can decide our own intervals. It just takes more stress off the controller here for a type 3. So interval is irrelevant. You can put 0 if you want, but it's essentially irrelevant. This is for type 3, which I'd like to see Atomic use in this case. Then Atomic is back on the initiative again. Are you ready for the 9 line? Yes, we are ready for the 9 line. Okay, let's go through this one step at a time. And you don't need to say 1, you don't need to say IPBP, you just say the thing that is the IP, which is Delta 10. So just say Delta 10. That's all you need to say at the top there. You don't need to say a heading, you don't need to say a distance, because a Delta 10 is a proven known point in space. All you need to say. And then line 4 is your next one. You don't need to say line 4 target elevation. You just need to say the number that is the target elevation in feet. So 40 to say they're 40 feet. You'll have to find out what they actually are. 5, the target description. You don't need to say 5 or target description, just say 12 times BMP. And so on like this. The next thing you'll say, which is going to be the location. Oh, fuck, guys, I'm stuck. What would you just say? Just, you said the coordinate, wouldn't you? Would you say the coordinate?
Yeah, cool.
Yep, so you'd bung in the coordinate there, and the coordinate's good enough for us. For the A10Cs, I need a bit more. Then for the type mark, in this case, we don't have laser guided bombs. The next thing we're going to do is a smoke. Smoke's good. So Atomic will decide exactly what to do. So he'll say smoke. You'll decide exactly what you want to do with the smoke. I would suggest just putting it in the middle of the enemies there somewhere, and then we can come in and type 3 the shit out of them, basically. Don't need a laser code. Friendlies, you can give as yourself if you want. You can say 1 friendly north 200 feet. Egress, very important. If you don't give it an egress, we'll just fly straight into those manpads and die. So you need to say egress Delta 10. That's, sorry, I got that wrong, didn't I? You say, yep, you say left pull or right pull. In this case, a left pull, please. And then just Delta 10, I think. Vulshan may correct me. So it means turn to the altitude. Left. Right, so, yeah. So would I say the 10 block altitude? Would I say the block altitude?
You can say that, or you can either say that or in your block if there's other flights that they're controlling.
Copy that, gotcha. Yeah, so you can just say, so you can just say left pull in your block, Delta 10, and it means go back to your IP point. If we're not at the IP point, we're at the echo point. If we're not at the echo point, we want to be at the IP point and nowhere else. Tiny little quick thing just to say now. So we won't actually be at the echo point. In reality, we'll be hovering around it somewhere. We could be 10 or 20 miles away. So when you, but what all you care about is the IP point. That's what you care. And before we come and attack the target, we won't go straight from our current location to the target. We go to the IP point first and then come towards the target. So all you care about, controller, is that we are coming from the IP point, and all your calculations of bearings and final headings will be taken from there. So don't tell us to give us a heading from where we are flying at the moment. Just give it from the D10. Super simple. Everyone just stick to that. Remarks. May need a bit of help with this one, guys. So final attack heading you need to give as... no, sorry. I've gone ahead. 9 line. After the 9 line, Wolf Shadow, do we do the readback after the remarks or before the remarks?
After.
So at that point, you say, Atomic, once we've got to number 9, you say, are you ready for remarks? Remarks and restrictions, and we say yes, Atomic, we're ready. So you go box by box. Final attack heading. What's your final attack? What shall I final attack being, Atomic, by the looks of D10 IP to Echo?
0702
I mean, yeah, that is good. I mean, is there any harm of just saying 090 though? I never understand why we make it so complicated.
Well, if you want 090, you better fucking be on 090 or they're going to abort you.
Is that why they do arrange them? Because it's just really hard. Okay.
Well, if there's buildings on one side or if there's buildings on both sides, 090 is exactly where they need you. If you're not on that, your bomb's not going to hit. So. Okay,
understood.
So easier for you to fly.
That says bang on there, so we got it right. So we've told a range that we can fly, so being 070, 20 degrees to the left essentially, or 20 degrees to the right, but yeah, that's fine. Understood. So we've got that. At this point, my tiny knowledge starts to break down, guys. The next best thing I'm interested in is a TOT, time on target. sorry, TTT, isn't it, for Type 3. So all we need now, so if we know where we're going, we know what we're bombing, we know that we're going to have a markup, we know what heading we have to fly, all we need to know is when to do it. You tell us the time. Well, let's say the time is now 10 past 1, that means the time is currently 10. So you're going to give us a time to TTT of, let's say, 1222. It gives us 10 minutes, that means 12 minutes past the hour to 22 minutes past the hour. I think you already know that. And then at the end of that, you say ready for readback. After that, the next thing that happens is we have to do the readback, which is the check of the 9 line to make sure the important things we've got. So you'll say ready for readback. And at that point, when I'll go, oh, okay, Atomic, and I'll just read back 4, 6, and remarks. And all I'm going to say, the exact words I'm going to say are 40. 431344055557, which is the IP, which is the location of the target, the waypoint. 070210, which is the final attack heading. And do I read back the time?
If they give it to you, yes.
Yeah, and I'll say 12 to 22, or 12 to 22. If Atomic's happy with that, is readback good? Readback is good. As far as I'm aware, we're essentially good to go at that point. We need to do an IP inbound, and that's it. I think generally saying. So at that point, I'll take my Vigans back to D10, or as near as I can get to Delta 10. Then we'll turn 090 as accurately as we can, fly in. As soon as I'm starting to fly in, I call IP inbound. So then the controller knows we're at D10 and heading towards the echo point. And then there are a few more things we have to say along the way, but that changes differently with different game plans, so I won't go through that. So that is the order, and I'm going to write a nice little infographic to step by step show you what you've got to do, so you can just have it open on your knee, and we don't have to keep worrying about it. Any questions? I know, Sherman, you can probably do it in your sleep. Atomic, any questions about that? I think you know most of it. It's just the order in which to do it, I think, was just the issue.
Yeah, I found I was reading too far ahead on the old sheet, so I've downloaded Sky's new sheet, and it's kind of set out a lot better. So
just to clarify, it's like slicey, and it's a lot easier to understand, actually.
Yeah, the new slice I update.
Okay, well done, guys. Okay, sorry to put you through that, but it's just we've got to get it right, because Coffee's getting pissed off with this. And
so, could I just ask a quick question?
Yep.
For your Type 3, you don't need to talk on at all. You just fly in on 0 whatever, and I just leave you to it and watch the bombs come in. I don't do any BDA, or do you ask for BDA, or I just wait 10 minutes with my arms crossed watching you?
I personally think you should wait till 22 minutes out, because you'll have missiles raining in from the east, from the west constantly. You might as well wait till we've finished our 22 minutes and then give us a BDA once we're backtracking to Delta 10.
Type 3 is like, there's a target, do what you want to destroy it.
And if I put smoke on it and the smoke goes away, are you going to call for fresh smoke? That's all there.
I will. We will. As soon as we lose smoke, I'll be on the blower saying, "Fresh Willy Pete, please, controller," and you'll be, "Yep, Willy Peting now." And we'll do that constantly, and you can choose a suitable place for it. They're going to be hard targets to spot, but and you don't need to worry about where we are, because you've given all the information in this sheet. You know, as soon as we let a Maverick off, all my Vigans, what they're going to do is turn left. They're going to go up to their Angels and get to Delta 10, and then turn back in and go for the next attack, and then go back. And you've got nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about hitting the sounds, because it's all been done in this document. And that's how we've got to get it to work. And the pilots, you've got to follow the document perfectly. If in doubt, follow your leader. Do exactly what your leader does. Just follow him and tail him in formation, rough formation. And then you won't go to the wrong place and you won't do the wrong thing. Even if you don't get to fire your missiles, just do that. Get it drummed into you.
So yeah, Cap, in terms of computer stuff, put in the cartridge, go to Reflola in 9099.
All done.
LSSKU.
Done. What next?
Flick the switch to another position and back to Reflola. And we are at Kutaisi, right?
Roger.
So the return airfield code would be 9014, and put that into L Mall.
Was that 9014?
Affirm.
Copy.
Tail is now taxiing to runway 26.
Cap is 9014 mile.
And you just go back to act pulse and out until we actually get our echo point.
Copy. We ready to get to runway? Ready to get to runway 26.
Please run.
Cap rolling. Star.
Ready.
Cap is 1, Child is 2, Tail is 3, standby. Brakes on and rev. Release and stage 2 on 3, 2, 1. Rotate.
Okay, I will pass below you guys because I have a later takeoff speed.
Copy, just catch up when you can. Lead turning on to 300.
I will continue straight forward and then you guys.
Lead, middle power. Hey Tail, how are you doing? You got us?
Yeah, I'm currently on the right side, going just a little bit behind.
Copy. When you're comfortable, you can get information.
Roger, what's your speed currently?
750 indicated.
Roger that, I'm catching up. Now information.
I'm about to put autopilot on, it might get wiggly for a second. Autopilot on.
Yeah, tail is also engaging autopilot.
Cap, lead selecting RB75s on the weapon selector. TV fix locks, doesn't it?
TV fix locks, T0 reset to bore site, T1 allows you to slew. Once you're locked and you want to get rid of your lock, the only thing you can actually do is use the T0 to bore site it. technical description would be T0 is cage, T1 is uncaged, TV6 is lock.
And is there anything else you need to do apart from get the lock? A and F and weapon selector, that's all we need, isn't it?
Yes.
Roger, disconnecting.
Confirm friendly units are APC.
Roger.
Might not go for the J-tag there. What's the J-tag in? Is that a cheap or something?
Roger, I'll contact you, JPET, stand by. Atomic, dagger flight.
Dagger flight, atomic.
Reporting, a dagger is flight of 2 Vigans and 1 MiG-21 approaching from the south. Ready for tasking.
Echo point is following grid N4301334 East 405556. Your IP is D10 5 block 8. Controller call sign is atomic. My position is Alpha .25 north of keyhole.
Copy. Dagger flight will get to IP and call. We'll call in when ready for check-in.
Copy.
Everyone okay, guys? Not perfect, but okay.
You ready to input the coordinates and actually set up an ingress point?
Roger. Is it going to be the IP? Yeah.
Yes, the Wigan can do that.
Okay. Talk me through it step by step.
Alright, so I want you to switch your computer selector to ref leveler and in.
Roger.
And you're gonna input the coordinates you just got and set it as a waypoint. Do not forget to put in the east in before the north.
Right, so I've typed the number in. What comes there? LSU? No, the number of the waypoint. Should we do Bravo 1?
Yes, anything you like.
Bravo 1 set.
Now, you're going to switch over your selector to tact.
Starl, it's telling me Bravo 1 is on our 6 o'clock. Something's gone wrong. Where does it say your Bravo 1 is?
Bravo 1 is roughly 36 kilometers, it's getting closer.
I fucked up. What was your what was your waypoint? Read it out bit by bit.
Atomic, go ahead. 3, 4. Atomic, Sabre AV8Bs, we're currently 35 nautical miles,
Quickly mute to check the channel.
south of you and climbing to 880.
4055556.
Agreed.
Copy.
I'll try again. I'll try again.
Yara, you need to put in the 405556 before echo kilometers.
Agreed.
Plus 42 east before north. 55 42 north. East 405415. Your IP is Charlie 10 and 5 block 8. Advise when at check-in.
Same problem. It's pushed it to my 60 clock, 400
Charlie
miles.
10, 5 block 8 will advise for check-in for Sabre flight.
Don't think it's working.
Alright. Did you input your cartridge before you took off?
Did I do what?
Did you put your cartridge in before you took off?
Roger, and I did the 9099 and it accepted.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't think my nav's working at all. I must have fucked something up.
Try another thing actually. Set you selected to act pause and out and press B1.
Yeah, I did that anyway. I knew that.
That's it.
I must have cocked something up along the way without realising. Never mind, I'll figure it out. We'll be okay.
Chap speed check.
Speed currently 810 indicated.
Roger.
Cap dumping tanks now.
2 tank. 3 dropping tank.
I get the same thing with my MAL. My MAL doesn't work either, so there's obviously a major problem with my INS or something.
Did you turn on your nav system intermittently and maybe slew the waypoint around on that, and you might have accidentally screwed up your nav system basically?
Possibly. It's a bit weird, but yep, very possible I fucked something up. At least it's an easy mission.
We could technically fix it in flight, but it's going to be a pain in the ass.
I think I'm just going to follow you visually, and that will allow me to know where to go.
Sure.
Okay, we're past our IP, turning right, standby. As soon as we get to IP, we'll put it in a roll hold and start taking our information. Okay, I think we're going to hold here, guys, to give us a little extra buffer zone. How do I get into my right hold?
30 clicks to this point, by the way. Just put it into altitude hold.
Yeah, Sabre flight has lost
Is that ATT
so
or hood?
one ship and requested 18 block 20 for fuel.
You keep getting stepped on, say again.
18 block 20, yep. Hope. HOTD.
Thank you, Sabre.
Nope.
All 3 green lights on.
Roger. I'm holding altitude. Do you want me to just trim right?
Yeah, just top right 230. About 5 shipment.
Understood, understood. Atomic, Dagger, are you ready for check-in?
Nathan, you on 121. Dagger, Atomic, proceed for check-in. No, 3... we can also single burst speeds if we put in the...
Hold, Atomic, hold it.
Copy. Tail has broken off and heading out to sea.
Atomic. Dagger flight. 2 big uns. 1 MiG-21. Delta 10. 8 times RB 75. 2 times Grom. All of those missiles are equivalent to Maverick. 0 plus 30. Abort code. Panic. No additional remarks.
Advise I'm ready to sit rep.
Atomic Dagger ready for sitrep.
Threat manpad 0.5B. Enemy 12 times BMP. Friendly A 0.25. Artillery none. Control atomic. Hazards none. Restrictions none. Advise I'm ready for game plan.
Atomic Dagger ready for game plan.
Type 3. Bombs on coordinates. Ordnance. Mavericks. Interval is 0. Advise I'm ready for 9-line.
Atomic Dagger ready for 9-line.
Delta 10. Run block 8. 69 ASL. 12 times BMPs on railway sidings. North 43 01 34 40 55 56. Break. Line 6 again. I say again. North 43 01 34. East 40 55 56. Smoke 1 Humvee 0.25 Air Alpha. Left pull D10 1 block 8. Advise I'm ready for remarks and restrictions.
Atomic Dagger ready for remarks and restrictions.
Final attack killing 070 to 110. Threats, manpads and small arms. Time on target will be 40 to 50.
Atomic Dagger, confirm you're ready for readback.
Readback when ready.
69 ASL. North 430134. East 405556. Final attack heading 07012110. Time to target 40 to 45.
Good, readback. Report when IP inbound.
We'll report when IP inbound. How about that, gents?
Dagger 2, Atomic Dagger 2, report when ready for readback.
Dagger 2 Atomic, ready for readback.
96 ASL. Northing. 4. Yeah, I need to get some information except elevation. Easting 405556. Ingress heading 070 through 110. Manpads and small arms fire. Time on target is 40 through 50.
Good, readback. Report when IP inbound.
Can you do it, Taylor, or do you want to leave it for today?
Dagger 3. Atomic. That's unable.
Do you want to do it, Taylor, or do you want to leave it to another day?
Leave it for another day.
Atomic Taylor doesn't know it yet, so we're going to leave him out. Please go disable when they're ready.
Ava.
Yeah, okay, Dagger, let's go. 0902 target and attack.
Ava Atomic. Advise I'm ready for check.
Cyber established Charlie 10, ready for check-in.
Go ahead, Saber.
Atomic Saber Flight CAS 1AV8B on Charlie 10, 18 block 20.
Break. Sorry guys. IP inbound, Dagger, please raise Willie Pete.
Dagger 1, continue. Willie Pete, going up.
Anyone see Willie Pete anywhere?
Nope.
Atomic, is Willie Pete up?
Willie Pete is out.
Colour, what colour?
Orange smoke.
Tally. Okay, get to cap.
You're cleared hot. Engaging. Saber Atomic. Continue checking when over.
Atomic Saber, you ready for check-in?
Ready for check-in.
Cap, Fox 1. Sorry,
Saber Flight
rifle.
CAS AV8B Charlie 10, 18 block 20 with 6 GP Mark 82s, time on station
Cap out.
now, board code Jaguar.
Advisor ready for sit rep.
Atomic Saber's ready for sit rep.
Threat, manpads and small arms. Enemy, BMP. Friendly location, danger close north. Artillery none. Controller is Atomic. Hazards none. Restrictions none. Advisor ready for gameplay.
Atomic Saber's ready for gameplay.
Type 3 in effect. Bombs on coordinates. Ordnance. Mark 82.
Cap running in.
0. Advisor ready for 9 line.
Atomic Saber's ready for 9 line.
Is Willie Pete still up?
Charlie
P2?
10, 5 block 8. 76 feet ASL. Northing 4257 0. Echo 410449.
I'm just changing if there's no space in your Indian fallen in peace. Interrupting anyone.
Smoke. Danger close north, 1 times hum. Right pull, Charlie 10, 5 block 8. Report ready for remarks and restrictions.
Atomic Saber, could you repeat the elevation and location, please?
I say again, 76 feet ASL.
Damn it.
Target location, northing 4257 easting 410449.
Good work, Ella.
Atomic Saber's ready for my remarks and restrictions.
Final attack heading 340 through 010. Threats, manpads and small arms. Time on target will be 50200. Report when ready to read back.
Atomic Dagger, message.
Dagger send.
Firstly, request a new Willie Pete. Secondly, request extension to time on target. We need more time.
Dagger, extended time to 00 hour.
0 hour and request new Willie P, please.
Affirm, orange smoke going out now.
Do you see the new orange smoke, boys?
Not right now, but I will most likely see it when
Charlie 7 is ready for readback.
I'll quickly let some readbacks and all on it.
Atomic Sabre,
Smoke up.
9476, line 6, north 425720, east 41044, TAC heading 340 to 010, there's manpad and small arms, and time on target 50 to 00. Good, readback. Report when IP inbound.
They will do 360, so UCAP can do 1 round.
I'm not fine fucking shit. Can you jump fire these fucking things? My thing's not working.
What's working?
I'm slewing so, my plane's sliding so badly to the left with rudder, I can't get a lock on anything.
Atomic Sabre, IP inbound. Hello, in hot. Sabre, Atomic, continue. Got to fix the trim. Continue, Sabre.
Tail is finally tally on target.
Sabre, Atomic. Atomic Sabre, go ahead. Will you require a talk on, or shall I just pop you some smoke? Some smoke would be great, Sabre. Smoking, red smoke now.
How well are we doing, guys? How many have we killed?
Yeah, I couldn't even see that.
Atomic Sabre, tally red smoke. Engage in. Sabre, Atomic, engage in.
Tail 0 kills.
Atomic Sabre running in.
Atomic, stall, this IP inbound.
Start Atomic, you are cleared hot.
Tail is now out of ground attack. I will now hold at Delta 10.
Dagger 2, Atomic, marking target with orange smoke now.
Oh, hunting track IR.
Dagger 2 is unable to engage target. Aborting.
Yes, fucking aborting again. I just cannot find that fucking smoke.
Yeah, same. Plus with the MiG-21 cockpit glass, I missed everything.
Ella's the only one doing any fucking damage. Good shot, Ella.
Am I allowed to do a gun run?
Yep.
so. I can also flare above target if you want.
Roger.
Can you do me a favor and turn your radar off? Cap, do you wanna join on my 6 o'clock and then I will try to spot it?
Tally, turning in.
Can you request smoke just first? Taylor's tally on the target.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
Atomic cap.
Taylor's now flaring.
Don't start this again. Nothing. Yes.
Atomic, Dagger 2 is IP inbound, request visual toggle.
Info Dagger 2. Do you see the railway sidings?
Negative, I see 2 prominent bridges in front of a city.
Roger, see those prominent bridges in front of the city in the woods? Left of those, about 300, 400 meters, are 2 square buildings right next to each other, flat roof.
Visual on 3 black smokestacks. Confirmed, those are enemy target.
Yep, they are shacked enemy targets. 50 meters right of the farthest right smokestacks are 2 flat top buildings. Behind that is 1 BMP.
Cap shack.
To require visual, I'm only gonna look on the board. Hey, Ben.
Such an awful piece of fucking bollocks machinery. Did I get a shack, Atomic?
Yeah, you did, copy. Yep.
Saber static IP inbound. continue.
Atomic Gunbow egressing to Charlie 10.
Gunbow Atomic, thanks for your support. Cap, I think they shacked the Humvee in the south.
Jap tail has to RTB, critical low fuel.
Atomic, roger. I think we're RTB here. I think we're out of ordnance. Request permission to Delta 10, then RTB.
Roger that, Delta Flow. Egress to Delta 10 and then RTB at your discretion.
Copy that. Nice working with you. Catch you later.
Hammer ready for check-in.
Hammer flight, echo point is bullseye 258 for 17. Go to Alpha 2016, block 18 for check-in.
Hammer copies. Alpha 2016, block 18. Recommend Alpha 10 due to airspeed.
Roger, we will go Alpha 10.
Alpha 1016, block 18, Hammer.
B8 fly ready for check-in.
Buick flight, Echo bullseye 258 for 17. Go for Alpha 10, 14 block 1. No. Say again. Go for Alpha 10, 13 block 15.
Proceeding bullseye 258 17 Alpha 10 13 block 5.
Roger.
Sherman, Hammer, established. Alpha 10, 16 block 18.
Hammer, you are go for check-in.
Sherman, Hammer, mission number 127, tap 1. 3 by 810 Charlie's currently Alpha 10, 16, block 18. Hammer 1, 6 by EGM Deltas, 6 by GBU 12s, 2 by GBU 38s, smoke rockets and gun. Hammer 2, 4 by GBU 38s, 6 by GBU 12s, 1 by GBU 10. Hammer 3, 4 by EGM Deltas, 8 by GBU 12. Gun. Time on station 0 plus 45. Hellpod capable. Abort will be aboard and clear.
Say abort code again. Hammer, say your abort code again.
Hammer abort code will be lightning.
Roger, lightning, advise when ready for sitrep.
200 feet for each group from enemies. No artillery in play at this moment. Controller, Sherman in orbit, Angels 20, laser between codes 1688 and code 1687. Hazards, man-pads all over town. Maintain a hard deck of Angels 16. Advise when ready for game plan. Now we're ready for game plan. This will be a Type 2 bomb on target with GBU 12. Interval 30 seconds. Advise when ready for 9 line. Ready for 9 line. Line is as follows. Alpha 10, 2 and 3 NA. 3 feet, enemy tanks. Grid 3-7 Tango. Foxtrot Hotel 62380. 62735. Mark by laser on your GBU 12 code. Friendly is 200 feet south, danger close. Egress left bank to Alpha 10, 16 block 80. Advise when ready for remarks and restrictions. Confirm line 7, Sherman's laser code 1688. Coded 1688, Hamlet ready for march restrictions. Final attack heading 145 to 180. Threats consists of man-pads at this time. Maintain hard deck Angel 16. Do you have timer 0904 at this time? TOT will be 15. Hammer, Sherman, additional. I have my speed on target over town. Sub to friendly groups. Net code ID group 23 number 1. Group ID 23. Yes, group ID 23. Go for a readback. 3 feet. 37 Tango, Foxtrot Hotel, 62380, 62735. Final attack heading 145 through 180, hard deck 16000, TOT 15. Read back correct, port IP inbound on your TOT. Flight ready for check-in. Doing flight 4, ship A10C. Position Alpha 10, 13 + 15 from Echo. Ordnance per aircraft is 4 by AGM 65 Hotel, 2 by GBU 12. Rockets. Time on station 0+45. Port code Wizard. Additional remarks, DGP, saddle available. Laser code currently 1688. Ready for tasking. Correction, laser code 1678. Copy, laser code 1678. Advise, do you have Hammer's sit rep? Negative, I was none. Roger that, advisory ready for sit rep. Ready for sit rep. Sit rep is as follows. Enemies are tanks, time. Friendlies are in 2 small groups. Each group is about 200 feet away from enemy forces in town. No artillery is in play at this time. Controller is Sherman in an orbit of Angels 20. Laser code 1688 and 1687 on the lasing pod. Hazards, man-pads all over the city at this time. Advise when ready for game plan. Ready for game plan. This will be a Type 2 bomb on target. Ordnance will be in the initial run, GBU 12. Interval 30 seconds. Advise when ready for 9-9. Repeat interval. 30 seconds. Ready for 9-1. Line is as follows. Alpha 10, 2 and 3 NA, 3 feet, tanks, 3-7 Tango, Foxtrot Hotel, 62380, 62735, mark by laser, we'll use code 1678. Friendly is 200 feet south, danger close. Egress, left bank to Alpha 10, 13 block 15. Advise when ready for further remarks. Follow my instructions. Climb to 16,000 as you do the run-in. Affirmative. Ready for remarks. Remarks, you will be in after Hammer Flight, after the last of their flight has gone in. Final attack heading 145 to 180. Threats, extensive manpads in town. TOT will be after Hammer Flight's final aircraft has gone in for the first attack run. Ready for readback. Tango, Foxtrot Hotel, 62380, 62735. Final attack heading 145 to 180. Manpad threat, TOT after Hammer Flight. Readback is correct. Stand by. Roger, target is captured. Can you confirm you have visual on the targets? I'm showing the target to the west of a east-west running building. Roger that. Cleared hot. Confirmed target is enemy tank facing northwest. Excellent. They confirm you want bomb on coordinate clear. Yes. Lasing. Stand by. Hammer's gonna be about a minute late. Say again, Hammer. Hammer's gonna be about a minute late. Roger that. You can go and go. Two's gonna be in first, Sherman. Roger 2, call 10 seconds to release. Lightning, you have a bad sector. Okay, confirm that's you. Confirms here, Walter. I'm sure what you meant. You released a weapon. Alright, Hammer Flight, confirm that you have my speed, just south, Hammer 110, loading for any bar.
Wait, 30 seconds, Sherman laser on.
Lasing, confirming that you had visual on the tank.
Miss.
Okay, the coordinates were correct, but the laser didn't track. Confirm the code of your bombs.
Laser code 1688.
Roger, laser is also 1688. Not sure why it didn't track. Call your next aircraft in.
Sherman, Hammer 1.
Go, Hammer 1.
So confirm your laser is currently on a target because we had laser spot search on it and we're unable to pick up the laser either.
Hang on, lasing. Target is now lased. I can confirm one of your flights one aircraft has a SPI on it at this time. Hammer, confirm you through a flight of 3.
Excellent.
Roger, are you out direct north or to the northwest?
Okay, flight second. We're north-northwest due to the final targeting requirement.
Roger, I only have a 2 ship for some reason. You're clear to try again, your coordinates were good.
Hammer 2 is ready, go.
Call IP inbound.
2 IP inbound. Call that right now.
Call 10 seconds.
2 is ready for the now. 2 1.
Sherman, he's going to the wrong target again. He's on the wrong side of the city. Fuck's sake.
Skay, I can clear your hots. I need you to lightning. That is the wrong target. 2, I need you to listen very carefully to me. Do you have the following coordinates in your waypoint? Foxtrot Hotel 62380 62735.
I have about that same coordinate.
Now, next question. Is that an MGRS coordinate or a lat long? Because I'm recording it as MGRS.
MGRS, I have no way of
because you're currently bombing an area about 2 to 5 miles to the northwest.
Are we dropping on your coordinates or are we dropping on a different target that you were lasing?
Skay was releasing on a different coordinate.
Just to confirm, Wolf Shadow dropped in the right place, but it didn't track. Skay is bombing a different target.
Roger, I'm going to try this again and update the coordinates.
The laser track that I captured is not those coordinates. Negative, it's nowhere. The laser track I captured is nowhere near those coordinates that Sherman just read out.
That is possible. Anyway, let me just double check my grids.
So I'm pretty sure I'm tracking the same target that you were talking about, but I think he's got it now. So 1 is going to be turning in now.
Roger that, call IP inbound.
1 IP inbound.
Cap will check that your vectors look good.
Continue on. Buick, I will give you the adjusted or more precise grids once this attack is complete.
Buick, copy.
Hammer 1, vector good.
Hammer 1 in heading 175. Hammer 1, 10 seconds.
Lightning. You appear to have turned off the target area. Oh no, wait, that's another aircraft. Continue.
Hammer 1 aboarding.
He's good, Sherman, he's okay.
Sorry, his wingman decided to turn off and make things difficult for me.
Hammer 2 vector is good. Hammer 2's vector is good.
Lasing.
Negative, Hammer 2's turned off. Hammer 2 has turned off.
Alright, Buick. Updated coordinates are as follows. Foxtrot Hotel 62372 62746, and that is in 37 Tango.
Buick 1, 37 Tango, Foxtrot Hotel 62372 62746.
Say first set of numbers again.
37 Tango, Foxtrot Hotel 62372 62746, 33 feet.
Read that correct. You are cleared in with your flight. Hammer, you are cleared to return and fill in those coordinates for bomb on coordinate. Okay, confirm you do not want us going IP inbound right now. I want Buick IP inbound at this time. Come on.
Sherman Buick, confirm we're cleared in hot, ASAP.
You're cleared IP inbound. Report in 10 seconds.
Buick 1, IP inbound.
Continue.
They're all coming together, Sherman. Shouldn't they have a spacing of an interval?
I did specify to them.
I'll specify to drop them back now.
Give me the 10-second call.
A-firm currently inbound. Laser code is 1678.
Right. 1678, laser ready.
10 seconds.
Amazing, clear hot.
Buick 1 away, DOT 30 seconds.
On away, 30 seconds.
No one else can drop before 30 seconds.
Basically, yes.
Get back, the rest of you.
Ignosis 2, pickle, time to target 30 seconds.
The phrase practice makes perfect comes to mind.
Oh, the phrase
Good
fucking
smack.
I'm suicidal comes to mind. He's got another one out, Sherman. He's got another one out. Get a new target, Lays.
Roger. Do not have a new target at this time, but I'm splashing it down in a safe
Yep, it's
position.
following you, it's following you. 30 seconds, men. 30 seconds, not 5 seconds.
Right, Hammer, have you got the new coordinates and are you ready for a re-attack? There you go. Hammer 1, I've that. Negative, I did not clear you in yet. I asked if you were ready. Yes. Roger, getting the camera set up with the laser code. Buick, return to Alpha 10.
Turning off then.
Chief has Hammer was tracking that vehicle the entire time. Say again? Hammer was tracking the vehicle that is currently shacked right next to the building that also exploded the entire time. That is odd. Both Cap and myself saw a weapon being released off on a friendly target to the west. Either way. Okay, so the coordinates are good. Next target is a few
several feet to the east of that, sitting on the T-junction. You should be able to use the same bomber coordinates. You are cleared for IP inbound.
Hammer 1 IP inbound.
Hammer Flight, please respect your interval and we can get all your bombs down from you guys.
I have faith in Hammer Flight. Hammer Flight, talk on for the TGP. If you follow the shacked target up the road to the south towards the T-junction is where the next target is.
Hammer 2 IP inbound.
Continue.
Hammer 1, I believe I'm captured. There should be further tank to the south of that.
Roger. Are you 10 seconds out?
Negative.
Roger, you're cleared hot.
Hammer 1.
Hammer 3, back off. You're only 7 seconds behind Hammer 2.
Hammer 2, I will laze the next target, which is literally just about 200 feet south of the one that you're currently IP inbound on.
Hammer 1, 10 seconds.
Captured and lasing.
Hammer 1 away, 31 seconds.
31 seconds, 1 away.
Hammer 2 in 10 seconds.
Hammer 1 bomb is guiding.
Laze is on the deck.
Hammer 1 shack, get looking for a new target for Hammer 2, Sherman.
Got it. Hammer 2, you cleared hot.
Abort Hammer 2, you're too far in.
No, I've got it.
Two aborted. We need that one controller.
Leave it for Hammer 3, Sherman. Hammer 2's too far in. Hammer 3 will do it.
Right, Hammer 3, are you inbound?
Excellent.
Roger. Updated target is about 200 feet south of the shacked target, sitting at a four-way crossroads.
Captured.
Cleared hot. Amazing. Cap, are there any other controllers free to take Buick? I've got 2 flights waiting on 1 controller here.
It's okay, Sherman. I've got an idea to speed this up. Hammer 3's flying right over the fucking target and out the other side.
Hammer 1, request immediate attack.
Cleared for immediate re-attack.
Hammer 1, IV inbound.
For reference, updated coords are Foxtrot Hotel 62380 62611. Buick is at Alpha 10, awaiting tasking.
Sherman Hammer's tracking. Foxtrot Hotel 62581 62607, just south of the previously struck target.
Say again on the coords.
62582 62606.
Confirm there's a tank sitting on the northeast side of the T-junction.
Info, 10 seconds.
Cleared hot, laser on.
I don't know if it's time out or what, I just got kicked back to DCS. One way to the screen.
Roger, on the way.
No track, no track.
Why would it want to do that to you? Why would there be any sort of timeout while you're on a server? I can't send that. Hammer 1 request always.
I can't see any targets. I've destroyed a few, but I can't see any more.
Roger, if you got the target laser. Copy. Shot Hammer 1, please.
I think they're all static objects as well, just to be sure that they don't show up on infrared.
Roger. Sherman will be switching code 1678 for Buick. Buick, I have a target for you. Stand by for coordinate.
Different.
Foxtrot Hotel 62771 62607. Tank facing south.
That's all.
Say again. Say again. Are you ready to ingress?
A-firm, reback is 33 feet, 37 Tango, Foxtrot Hotel, 62771, 62607.
Feedback correct. Bring one aircraft in, report IP inbound.
Hammer 2 Shack.
Update, shacked vehicle has moved. His coordinates are 62805, 62569. Relatively the same position, I should still be able to lay. Report IP inbound.
Stand by. Hammer 1 IP inbound.
Try again.
Buick 1 inbound, heading 180.
Buick continue target captured, ready for lays, code 1678.
1678.
Ignitus, you're doing it again. Back away.
I was ordered to be inbound.
Well, it's not going to work. You drop your bombs. You're not giving Sherman enough time. You have to be 30 plus seconds behind. You're 10 seconds behind.
Copy. One circle.
I instructed one craft to make a strike only.
I instructed for the rest to maintain orbit, but obviously got lost in translation.
Even with 2, you have to respect your 9-line interval.
Yeah, that is something that's going to take quite a long amount of practice to get fully right.
Well, a couple more bombs down, Sherman, then we'll RTB and debrief.
Roger. Give me the 10-second call, Buick. Set a missile or a rifle?
Unknown, 10 seconds.
Amazing. Cleared hot.
Buick 1 away, DOT 32 seconds.
Buick 1 bomb guiding.
Shack. Sherman, Hammer 1 request, Type 3 and Mavericks on running things. Roger, Type 3 in effect. You are clear to engage enemy tanks with Mavericks.
Buick 2 inbound.
Nice. Okay, after this engagement, Sherman, we'll get back to base.
Roger, to say things didn't quite going according to plan is an understatement.
CAS 562973.
Do not kill the skyscrapers, please, guys. Okay, let's stop this, Sherman. It's just getting stupid now. Just send them back.
The aircraft that is not currently in is clear to RTB.
Going to bank left, reference 180. Slow. Senor, you have to street. Yeah, what's up? Oh, nothing. How's it got? Yeah, the nice little bomb drop there. Come to find I got a kill and I just 090. No, I mean just now. You did just now? Oh, so you dropped your bombs. Yeah. I have so many gun rounds left. I do too, I gotta use it. I've got 2 in night and a nice warthog in my sight. Yeah, you definitely dogfight, go. Dogfight, woo! Correction reference 073. Level. Say again? Throttling back to 80%. What the hell is going on? Wait, you got hit by a stinger? There's stingers in the area. Guitar traffic, Tiger flight inbound 25 clicks west for red join. Where the hell were you that you got shot by stingers? Throttle back to 70%. And downwards.
Are we braking to the left?
Affirm, you will be braking about 2 seconds after me since you're flying on my right wing.
Affirm.
traffic, Dagger flight at initials to land runway 08. Over, John. One is on the way.
2, break. $300 altitude, isn't it?
Meters, I believe it's 500, was it?
Yeah.
Excited traffic, Dagger lead, turning finals to land runway 08. Gear down, thruster is prime. Going to land on the right side of the runway.
Dagger 2, final 08. Two down the side. All A10s, you're free to come down at...
Alright, Cap, you want to see how to park the vegan?
Nah, I'm gonna go out.
Hold on, someone's gonna take 2 seconds. Yeah. Shipment running long. Scare finance running left 2, left to focus to the... Standby. Security traffic. Buick inbound from the west for run and brake. Sherman runway vacated.
P-Man finals. P-Man to the base. Visual on you, Merlin, run long. Running long, copy. P-Man finals.
Okay, back to debrief. So, welcome back. So, just flight by flight because it's just easier. Who are we? Dagger, because they're easy. So, we got to the target. Got in communication with Tomek. Excellent communication, Tomek and Dagger. We had no problems at all understanding each other, understanding exactly what we had to do. So, we're chuffed with that. Everything went to plan as well. And then we attacked the target, and, well, we just didn't execute it very well, I don't think. I was using my Viggen very badly. I don't know about the other guys, but... So that's,
well, it is difficult to actually see anything if there's buildings and trees around.
Yeah,
and such.
To be honest, it was completely my fault. I was forgetting to bore sight back every time, and so basically every time I was looking, I didn't realise that it was completely slew to the left 45 degrees. So I was never even looking forward until the last minute, and then I couldn't really keep the A10s waiting any longer. So I thought it's just a lesson learnt for me, and I'm sure you all had some problems, but essentially we did well. With the communication was there. We killed 5 units and. It's not the end, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest.
Ideally, you get in the habit of just, bore sighting at the moment you go on egress.
Yeah, I need to get in. It's just a habit. I'm just not good enough with it. So that's cool. Any other comments about Dagger before we move on?
No, you shacked 3 ground targets, Cap. So
Roger, I should have. I could have shacked all 12. Well, I could have shacked really quick because I know how to use that. It's just a really stupid mistake. So anyway, it's done now. Harry, Harry's flight sounded really good. I heard Gumbo talking and everything sounded good, but operated really badly. I think they killed 2 ground units and 1 was a friend, or 3 ground units and 1 was a friend. I'm amazed they managed that. What was the actual problem? Just problems with the plane or whatever?
No, it's just coming in from the south for a bomb run, and all you saw was trees, and the target was behind the trees. So from a different angle, you could see them better.
Yeah.
Like from the west, but it's just trying to see them was a bit difficult.
Yeah, that's fine because I assigned you directions to come from, obviously, and the important thing is even if you didn't bomb the guys, you followed the orders and you can't bomb from the south. So that's fine. If you couldn't see them, you couldn't see them.
I think stuff had been put down as static objects as well instead of like tanks and stuff. So if they're static objects, they don't give any heat signature. So looking on the T-port and flare, you can't really see them very well, especially with the trees.
Roger, that was a bit weird, but okay, never mind. So if we were doing it, then Atomic would have assigned a vector himself. Rather than me assigning him one, and that could have been based on better visibility. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's common.
One thing as well is it was really tricky to be jumping from one Humvee to another in a completely different location. It's probably my bad. I should have spent time while you were transiting from whatever the airfield was up to your IP point for Dagger flight, looking at Saber's target, but I stupidly didn't. So when I got in there, I was like, oh, fucking hell, where am I? And I had to quickly hastily find it. But then just the way combined arms work, every time you try and swap through the vehicles, it's a bit gnarly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If it is for Dagger, we had no problem with our ground controller at all. The smokes didn't last very long, which is a bit annoying, but other than that, it was just us not aiming properly and just not having the right aircraft, so that's fine. Which brings us on to the tragedy that is the A10s. So A10s, I just don't. I mean, you guys know better than me. There's bombs coming down, but only 1 in 4 guided.
So
my bomb actually not us. Sorry.
So what happened is the check-in went off fine.
Yep.
We were initially going to do 20. Wolf Shadow suggested 10. I went with that. I was going to do a bomb on target because I wanted to get a VID. Wolf Shadow suggested bomb and coordinates. He knows better than I do, so I agreed and let him do that. I gave out the IP stuff. People started going in, and it was at that point that you called off one of the guys because their vector was wrong. And I'm starting to suspect that A10 was either not flying with the pattern or something else was really wrong, because
I know exactly why that went wrong. When you did your game plan, you gave him you did your remarks after the 9 line. You gave him an attack direction of 140 to 180, which means he could come in on a heading from any of those headings. So he was coming in on a heading of 150, and you were waving him off, which is why he was in chat going, "What the fuck? I didn't do anything wrong."
Okay.
Who
so
is this?
Explains a lot.
Who?
This was the first group of guys.
Is that Hammer? Well, it was Skay that was. It was Skay that was going off.
But Skay followed what Sherman told him. Sherman told him he can attack from any heading, so he could head anything.
Now everything is clear to me.
It doesn't clear to me, Sherman. I can't say anything that you did wrong. You gave him an attack heading 140 to 180. That means he can go 180 like he should have.
Yeah, but he can go 140. You've authorised him any attack heading of 140 to 180. He was flying 150.
Yeah, anywhere between 145 and 180.
So, to clarify, Cap, what was happening was he was coming in at what is called an offset attack angle. So he wasn't flying straight in on an angle from the direct north. At that point, you started to call him in and wave him off, and that threw him off, which comes to the next point. Unless like it's high command completely calling off the CAS mission, you don't overrule or interrupt the JTAC. That's what fucked up tonight. It seems pretty clear.
I have to well, watch the stream back. I have to disagree. Skay was bombing the wrong target, and his bombs hit the wrong target, even hit the tanks on the wrong target.
Yes, I'm not sure what happened with that.
And
but I will say the rest of the stuff does make sense.
It's also no, I disagree with everything there. It's Skay's job to go to the IP. We went through this in the briefings, where I spent all this time doing it. Your job is to go to the IP, and then from the IP attack the target. You'll be given a coordinate for the target. It's called an echo point, and you've got to fly towards the echo point. Every single person here has to fly towards the echo point. If Skay is 30 degrees off from the echo point, it's just Skay's fault. He has to get to the echo point.
No, you're wrong. Sherman gave him authority of a 40-degree angle that he could waver off of a direct southern attack line. So he exercised that right. Sherman gave him that authority in the remarks. He gave him an attack heading of 145 to 180, which means he doesn't have to fly directly towards it. He can go anywhere between that heading line.
Roger. So wasn't he meant to be... so what are you guys aiming for then? Because in the Vigans we were given a target, and it has a point in space, so we flew towards that target to bomb it.
I'm just watching my tech view now. I think after the initial check-in, I had my pod looking at the right target, but I had my speed on the wrong thing. I think that's what happened.
Well, if that's the case, then that clears things up entirely, because your speed was targeting the wrong release and impact point, so your CCRP targeted the wrong point. So now the picture's entirely clear. That's the thing confused us. Cap stood and waved him off, and that caused confusion.
See, that's two different things. The speed being on a different target is one thing, and then the attack vector is something else. The attack vector that he was flying was perfectly fine. He was actually obeying what he was told.
So
it was a good call as well, because it's better that heading, because it leaves us with left time over the sands.
So what's the speed then? Why couldn't he get to the target? What went wrong?
Let me explain. Technically, this would be something for the A10 tutorial videos, but the SPI is the sensor point of interest, or in A10 language, the point at which you're intending to bomb.
And why?
Yeah, basically, my pod was looking at the right place, but my aircraft wasn't.
So, for example, I can set a SPI on either my tactical map in the A10 or on my targeting pod. Because Skye did not set his targeting pod as SPI before attacking the target, his SPI was not looking at the same place as his targeting pod, but he thought it was.
Yeah,
so he flew onto the instructions on the HUD and released accordingly, but it was the wrong area.
Without going into a long explanation of the A10 systems, and I'm sorry, Skye, we can just put it down to user error.
Okay.
No, it was. I'm just looking into it. I was wondering what the hell happened.
And so the next question is, we had a load of guys that were going on the right heading. Sly and Wolf Shadow went on the right heading, and they looked like the bombs they dropped in the right place. They should have worked, but they didn't track, and I just
have a theory,
can't work out what went wrong.
There was a little bit of confusion there between bomb on coordinate and bomb on target, because when you're the reason that Wolf Shadow was getting confused is when you do bomb on coordinate, you were asking him, has he got visual ID on the target? He won't. In bomb on coordinate, you give him the coordinate, he drops the bomb. It doesn't matter what he's dropping onto him, he just drops the bomb. He doesn't have to, he won't use laser spot track to find what you're targeting.
Right, so that one is on me.
When you do bomb on coordinate, you give him the coordinates, he drops a bomb on that coordinate. It's up to the controller to mark the thing and laser it. The pilot doesn't care what it's on, he won't even check, he'll just do it.
But you were lasing though, weren't you, Sherman?
I was lasing, but Cap, that's not the reason that the GPUs failed. I think the reason the GPUs failed is a broken laser lock, essentially, because if the A10's wing gets a little too close to a certain angle relative to the laser will automatically shut itself off because it can cause eye damage if it reflects.
Or a building, or it might hit a building or something as well, mightn't it?
No, it might have disabled because the airframe got too close to the laser line.
Yeah,
it was guiding onto the bomb, you mean?
I was going to say that. I don't know. I didn't look where you were, but the laser only has a certain range on the cone, so it doesn't follow the TGP. The TGP, if you're sort of like not directly over target, but if you're over the target, the TGP will follow the target 360, whereas the laser will only mark, I think it's 60 degrees in front of your aircraft.
Okay, so that limitation I was definitely not aware of, which explains a lot more about why we had so many misses.
Roger.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of coordination between the FAC-A and the attacking aircraft in that you really want to try and coordinate them to be attacking from the same bearing from target that the FAC is at. And it's specifically for that reason. So if they're running in from the north and the FAC-A is south of the target, you're going to have problems. But if you wait for the FAC-A to orbit so that it's anywhere in the northern half of the cone, what will happen is you'll get a lot higher success rate because the cone of approach for the bomb is a lot larger if the bomb is being shoved down the cone. Whereas if the laser is coming from the opposite direction, the actual cone that the bomb can drop into is a lot smaller.
Okay, so let's try and summarize this into things that went wrong. One, not knowing the A10 systems in terms of not knowing the limitations of the laser designator and accidentally placing the wrong SPI. Two, the JTAC's authority was stepped on, which caused confusion. Three, the JTAC fucked up the BOC-BOT process.
There may be another issue as well. I was broadcasting my SPI for my flight. Would that have affected Hammer flight as well? Or would it
only if they were on the same group ID?
Then never mind.
No, we were on group 2, that's fine.
Can you not see SPIs from other groups?
No, as long as the group ID is different, you won't.
Yeah, I think it was because I think the TAD was screwed, and as I said, my flight was supposed to be net 1, group ID 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. When I located Wolf Shadow's aircraft on F10 and then looked in my TAD, it was designating them as aircraft 20.
Right, so that's another thing about the A10's tactical display.
I mean,
it has a basic data link, and if you don't change your group ID, then you're going to step on each other's data links.
Basically, for CAPS terms, it's like giving the same username to all the A10s.
Okay.
So what you should do is where you've got on the sign-up sheet, Hog Lays 1688, you should assign each flight its own group ID. And then that way they go in, use that group ID, and then there's no conflicts between the TAD interface. And you won't get the other thing that could have happened is Skye could have accidentally speed onto a target from another A10 if they were on the same group ID.
Yes, that's what happened the previous time.
So what you should do is when we're doing sign-up sheets like this for CAS work, and we're using A10s, where you assign the laser codes, which is correct, you should also give each flight its own group ID, and I think it's between 1 and 30. So I
think also we need to not use 1688 specifically, so we make everyone change off of it into their assigned flights.
Yes.
Right, gotcha. Okay, the only other thing I saw was guys coming in obviously too close to each other. Which,
the problem with that was flying formation when we were on our hold points. When we're on the IP points and you're flying in circles, even in loose formation, it's very difficult to roll out on the heading for the attack and then slow down enough so that you're 30-second spacing apart. So Signori and I were following in Merlin and Ignotus, and we were literally throttles back with air brakes out at the point that, and we couldn't slow down enough.
That's it's probably on me. What I should have done as lead is called like the subsequent people that roll out just do complete one extra turn.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then just do one turn, second in, third in, fourth in.
I would have said number 2 can do 1 orbit, number 3 can do 2 orbits, and the last guy can do 3 little orbits, and that should separate enough, shouldn't it? Something like that.
I think
you really just have to keep a count in your head.
I think we completely misunderstood that. We were going to come in as a flight and drop 3 bombs like 10 seconds apart and presume that the JTAC was going to switch targets.
We just started using our CAD as a way to see how far apart we were.
Was to put 30-second spacing between the aircraft, specifically so that I could get enough time to get to the next target place.
Takes him a time.
It's just a bit. The only advice I've got for you on that one, Sherman, is 2 things. If you're going to call a 30-second spacing, you need to be aware of the altitude the aircraft are pickling the bombs from. When we're pickling from 16,000 feet, it takes about 30 to 33 seconds for those bombs to strike.
I only realised that after I heard people calling 30-second releases.
Yeah, so that only gives you about 20 seconds to find another target after the bomb shacks. And
it's already losing energy at that point.
Exactly. So the other option that you've got is you could, if you're going to do bomb on target, all you do is you change your group ID onto the same group ID as the attacking aircraft, and then you slave your speed and assign tanks to individual targets, and then they can self-laze.
Yeah. Or as the FAC, you mark all targets into your mark points, and then change to mark point on your CDU, and then you can just use steer up and down, and it'll flick you between targets.
Right. That'd be a good way.
That's another way to do it. Yeah, I think that A10C video is sorely needed.
But if you do that, you just have to bear in mind that a 30-second spacing won't be enough. You'll need a minute spacing.
Why not be safe and just put a minute spacing in, and you guys in your flight can organise when you leave the IP a minute in between each one? I think.
I'd argue go further than that and do more Type 3 and let the flight leads of each fly the target.
That's what we do.
Normally I would agree, but if you're dealing with a target-rich city urban environment which is covered in man-pads, that would be a nightmare.
Sorry, I know that I'm talking quite a lot, but I've got quite a lot of feedback because I used to do this semi-pro. When you get these flights, we're having the same problem that we have when we've done cap flights. You remember when we started setting up chainsaws and we thought, right, 4-man is too much, it's just not working, and we started breaking it down into 2-man flights, and all of a sudden it started working. And it's exactly the same problem here. You've got Sherman who was controlling 7 A10s. So what could be done in 10 minutes if you had 2 A10s took 2 hours with 7 A10s. Yep. Because although you've got more, he's trying to coordinate what 7 individual pilots are doing, where they are, what weapons they've got on board, what vectors they're coming in from, and their spacings.
Be a bottleneck.
Yeah, exactly. So it would be far more. And I know we have a problem that we don't have that many JTAC controllers or FAC-As, but if you have it so that you limit it so that, say, Hammer and Buick were limited to 2 A10s, you would be far more effective than you would be having 7 A10s in 2 flights.
But what are the other 12 people going to do, though?
Well, that's where we need to think of mission design parameters for it. So, for example, the Vigans, you don't have to necessarily have them go off and strike BRDMs. You could have a patrolling convoy of trucks that they could low drag bomb on. You could have a bunch of other inventive things that they could attack. But it's great if you want to practice repeat CAS work. But these big groups, they're very, very difficult with so few JTAC controllers.
Probably unrealistic as well.
It is, because it would be very uncommon to have a wave of 4 A10Cs going out on a CAS patrol. You get a lead and a wingman, and you'd have 2 covering 200 square miles. And that's you're getting a lot of clutter, and everyone's stepping on each other's toes, because when we were orbiting around, I could see Wolf going in and out, I could see Skay going in and out, I could see my own wingmen trying to get spacing so that we could drop as we were asked to, and it became very, very difficult to maintain situational awareness of where A, the target was, B, where the manpads were, and C, where our other aircraft are, to avoid confliction.
It may not be that it's not possible, because it's supposed to be a CAS campaign, which is going to be, that's what it is, mainly. It may just be not possible to do.
The other resources. I mean, that's it. That's the problem. In that, if you had another 5 FAC-As or JTACs, then you probably could, because you could split it down into much smaller groups, and it would be much more effective. But when you've only got 1 FAC-A trying to do 7 A10s, that's a lot of work, and it's just going to take time.
You can you can change it to having the FAC-A spot targets, and then make sure that the flight has the targets that they've spotted, and then the flight can just come in and do it themselves. So we don't like the A10s are fully capable. We don't need to
type 3.
do this.
Yeah, so you'd be calling type 3s. I mean, you could do type 1 or 2s, but the only way you're really going to do it is bomb on target, in which case then Sherman, while he pisses off while we're all doing our taxiing and takeoffs and everything else, and he just literally orbits around marking all the targets so that he's got 20 mark points laid out, and then when he calls the bomb waves in, he says, right, Buick flight, come in, 1 minute spacings, Merlin pickles his bomb, mark point A, Ignotus pickles his bomb, mark point B, and then he just cycles through them, and he's already got them all pre-marked. And then he's just
the operator in JTAC and Armour 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only thing he's got to hope for is that the tanks don't move, because the way mark points won't move with the tanks.
I can stop them moving, because at the moment they do move when hit, but I can stop them moving, so that's fine. I mean, it would be great. Just imagine a column of 8 A10s coming in 1 minute after another, just boom, boom, boom. That'd be the ultimate skill.
Easy thing for just creating mark points and cycling.
Yeah, I think the thing is, attacks like that, certainly not in an infantry CAS situation, wouldn't really happen because you're reliant on the transfer of information outside of the flight. The only time that would really happen is if you were doing something like a reinforcement interdiction, send out a flight of 4 in a single flight, find this tank column and kill it kind of thing.
Yeah, it would be. It's quite a lot of sort of pre-thinking that goes into it, but it's perfectly possible to say you've got 7 A10s there between Hammer and Buick. You could say, right, I've got 14 targets, I've set 14 mark points. If Cap turns it off so that they don't move, you could have them saying, I don't know, it's a barracks where the tanks are parked up and we want to strike them before they go and attack a town or something. So you go in, mark up your 14 mark points, you've got one guy orbiting up above, and he just goes 1 in, 2 in, 3 in, 4 in. And the thing is, you don't even have to do bombs. You can slave them off for Mavericks. So you could quite happily go, right, I'm going to give pilot 1 this mark point. Have you got it? Yes. Pilot 2 this mark point. Have you got it? Yes. All the way down through 7. Right, all 7, you've got your mark points. You slave your TGP, your Mavericks to your TGP. You line up. I want 10-second rifle intervals. And then they all fly in one after another. Wham, 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 wham. 7 Mavericks, and they roll around and do it all again.
Roger. Sounds sick.
Does that make sense?
I kind of sometimes I think, why the hell are we doing this? I mean, it's good though, isn't it? It's good.
I mean, this is exactly why we're doing this. We're learning what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work to do it, and I'm not saying it's easy, but it will be. We also have to bear in mind what's going to happen once this campaign's over. Once this campaign's over and we start having CAS in addition to CAP and DAS, then the chances are you're going to have 1 FAC-A and 2 A10 pilots.
Yeah, that's more doable then, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're going to be having like Cap and Signore and Sly off in F-15 shooting down Signore and shooting down Fort and everything else in Red Fort. Shooting down himself, I wouldn't rule it out. But they're all fighting each other. All right, Cap's cleared. Now the CAS and the DAS can go in. And then you've got, actually, you know what? Sherman's been off in his F5. He's done his Cap mission. He's landed. Now he's doing FAC-A for the CAS. And it would work far better than trying to do 8 A10Cs with 1 FAC-A, and everyone's getting stressed out. Everyone's getting bored because what we did 2.5 hours there, and I dropped 1 Maverick. And it's going to be far more interesting and less stressful for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, cool. So next time we'll have just a comparatively small amount of CAS work to do then. 1 target and 2 or 3 A10s and 1 controller, and the rest will be kind of traditional mission, I suppose. It's the only way we can really work it like that.
Well, I mean, that's sort of the only way that it really works. The CAS thing is designed for specific supporting of small-scale targets as opposed to all-out war where you just send in a bunch of A10s and say, there's a column of tanks, kill everything in that area with a direct strike.
Roger. Cool.
See, the other big difference between, sorry Cap, I know you want to go. The other big difference between CAS and DAS is that when you've got a CAS mission, it's ad hoc. It's meant to be spontaneous and flexible.
Agreed.
Whereas, because of that, you're trying to ask lots of people to be flexible in a very small space, controlled by one person who is also trying to be flexible on behalf of all the other pilots. If you've got a tank column and you say, right, you 2 A10s, I don't care what you do, these are your waypoints, you go in and you destroy that tank column. That's a DAS mission, done. And you say, right, these 2 A10s, you are on standby in case something else comes into this town, and then you've got a FAC A controller who directs them onto target. They might not know their target when they take off, they just know that they're going to be on a CAS operation.
Roger. Yeah, makes sense.
And there's nothing wrong. You could have quite happily have DAS and CAS with A10s in both missions, and there's no reason why you couldn't have an Argentinian mission where they're having a big offensive. They're sending in 2 tank columns. We've got to destroy the tank columns. We've got to destroy the fuel trucks that they're using with all their supplies and that on it. And then we've got to provide close air support for some blues that are stuck in a town, all in the same mission. Because you can quite happily split it off. You don't have to have everybody doing CAS, even though it's a close air support / insurgency operation campaign.
Roger. Okay, well, let's think what we come up with on Saturday then. We're going to go and chill out for a bit, get a movie done, and fine, lots learnt as usual.
Sorry,
I think it was good. I think we had good comms, at least in Dagger and Saber, and that was pretty much, as far as I'm aware, that was the goal of that.
Yeah, we did.
For us, anyway.
They did perfectly fine. A10 guys did that perfect comms as well. It was just there was problems. They seem so complicated, these A10s, almost more complicated than they were. Some problem always seems to come up and wreck the mission for it.
Today's for my part is just really I've not that experience with the A10 yet.
Yeah, so, there's problems with everyone there.
I'd just suggest that because we're still learning as well, put the targets further away. So keep the groups more separated if possible.
Yeah, it's
good. And the targets, if it's around the town, try and put them on the outskirts so they're more visible.
Yeah, it's fine. There's no reason not to do that. Yeah.